going to capture some beautiful fall leaves here today on these trees, and I'm going to do a drawing today with pastel. Right down here's my setup. I got my field sketch book, which is also on EverettWatercolors.com. Got some soft pastels over here, and I've got some pastel pencils. We're going to try both of those today. And just a fit. Okay, first of all, I'll do a quick sketch here, give myself a composition going. And I really like, there's a little contrast here I got. I like this. Right here in front I've got I've got a green bush here. We'll kind of set off the end. A little bit different today. And up here I've got a big old tree here. Lots of red. And on this side over here I got another tree with some yellows and so forth. Okay, so that's kind of my setup. Okay, that's just a rough sketch. That's all I need. A couple lines there, give me some ideas where to get started. And this is I'm doing this on a field sketch pad. This is a 140-pound watercolor paper. Those should do a good job on pastels. I'll put my pastels here. So I'll start out with these crayons, and I've got some yellow here. So let's get some yellow going. There's some yellow leaves there on this particular area over here. Get some yellow. A lot more up in this area. They look like little dots and so forth. These are leaves. Let's see what I got. Let me check my pencils out here. Let's see what I got in now. Yeah, I got some green. So this is these are pastel pencils. Got a bunch of variety. Here's a dark green, and I think I'll get in some marks here with the pastels here. Let me set this down. And I might have to put my papers are a little stronger, so I put a little clip on here so it doesn't move around too much. So I'm going to draw with pastels and use a side here. Always you want to do even watercolor, even pencils. Don't like to use the point too much. It wears it down too quickly, but the side I got a lot more control. So I got this green bush here in front of me. Get started with that. Throw this in. So this is a drawing today with pastels. This is what I want to do. And I like to do on the weekends. I like to do a painting. And then also a drawing. So this is my drawing day. Weather's a little cloudy today. The sun is not really coming out. It's cloudy. this morning. It's early in the morning, around 7 o'clock. It'll probably be much brighter later on today, but that's okay. We'll just get it. So this is really the foreground here. This. Like in all art, I consider the edges to be the most important part of a composition. Little edge control. Okay. All right, that's for the bush there. Let's see, I'm going to need some yellow. I'm going to need some orange also. This is an orange pastel pencil. So we'll get some oranges over here with this yellow. And get some, I'm going to shape a little bit more of those leaves. I don't have to think about how I'm going to do the background here. I haven't thought about that yet, but you know, that's something that you lesson learned. And let's see, here's a red pastel pencil. Get a little bit of that in there. And shape some of those leaves with the pencil. Lighter red, I'll try that. There's a variety of reds in there. In the center here, the center's got more red, and I got orange here, and then more yellows over here. That's kind of really the format here. Need some more yellow. Let's see, what I'm going to try now, I'm going to experiment now a little bit. Let's see, so I don't use oil or turpentine or anything like that. I'm going to use a watercolor brush and a little bit of water, damp. And I'm going to go in here now. I'm going to kind of play with the pastel here with a little bit of water. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to go in here and just do and it's just kind of spreading pretty good. So, you know, pastel is pure pigment. It's a powder. It's a pigment that's dry. So it's a dry media. But it's also the same kind of pigment that you find, and it just depends on the way the manufacturer has built this. Watercolor has its own ingredients, and pastel has this pure. And you can see here that green is coming along really nicely. I'm getting a nice mixture now, spreading out the. Instead of using my finger and so forth, I'm using a little bit of wet brush, here. So we'll get that started. Let that dry up a little bit. Get a nice little. Get a nice little start here with some color. That's working out pretty good. I like that. Okay. Let's see some of these other colors now. Let's see. Let's do yellow, oranges. Just a little drop of water there to spread that pigment out. There's several ways to do this. You know, you could use my fingers to spread things, smear it a little bit. But I want to have some discrete shapes here of these leaves. And this gives me a good start here on this particular setup. So really experimenting today with pastels, and you know, it's a pretty direct way to do art, because it's almost like a drawing with paint, pigment. And pastels are pure pigments. Comes in a crayon shape. I'm going to put some more reds in there. Get a little more. I'm putting more pigment on the paper. That's all I'm doing. Adding more pigment, and I can control with the brush. And I'll put some more yellows over here. Get some of that nice yellow leaves over here. There's some yellow leaves over here with the orange. Okay. A little bit of burnt sienna. This is like the brown, so I can put a little bit of burnt sienna in here. So the branches in this bush. We'll start adding that in there. So, all experimental today. Don't use pastel a lot, but I have it in my studio. And so today I thought to get the colors of the autumn and the fall, I could bring in some color here with let's see, maybe I can get some of these branches here. There's branches back here. Okay. Alright, get that away. Now let's see, let's put a little more water. Let's see if we can get some of these browns that are going to show up a little more. I can make them a little darker. Okay, I'm going to use some darks here now, so I'm going to have to go to my dark blue and dark brown. Let's see a little dark. I'll use the pencils here. I've got a dark brown umber. This is umber, and this is blue, which is Prussian blue. So those are dark colors I put in the background. Now I'm going to put those in between now. Try to get some darks in here around these areas. So I'm using the umber. It's really a dark brown. You can see the. I'm going to put that in some of these spaces here, then I'll go in with the brush and move it around to break up some of this color a little bit. Get some darks in there against the lights. I'll say again, this is experimental. I'm trying this out to see how it goes, but I wanted to do a fall scene here with these leaves and everything. And I said, well, a pencil wouldn't do it. I can get shapes with pencils, but as far as the color, I need to get pastels or crayons. So I said, well, pastels is another form of painting, and a lot of artists use pastels, especially out on Plein Air. It's a good way to get a quick. I'm gonna put some darks in here now. Some branches. These branches over there holding this bush up. And these dark branches back here, I put those in. I'm going to try to pull this together now, try to make a little more sense out of it. So I'm going to put some more of that greenery in. Let's see, I'll put some more green in this bush here. I'll add a little more pigment down here in the green. This green needs to be a little darker. And, so we'll darken this up a little bit more on the greenery. And you can layer in pastel. I mean, let's do a little more layering here. You can put some colors in there and go right back. Put some layers on top of it. Which I'm going to try here with that background. There's the green bush. I like that. Let's go in and get some more reds. Make these reds a little richer. So add another layer on these reds. So these red leaves. We'll build these up a little bit more. So I'm adding more pigment now. Adding more pigment, and by just layering over top of what's there, adding a little more color. So I'm layering a pastel on top of the ones I already started with. A lot of reds in this section here. And go back to the yellow over here. The yellow is pretty prominent over here. So I'll make a little more definition of the yellow on this side. And then I'm going to put in that, let's see, put the orange. Get some orange over here on this side. I'm going to go back to umber here. I'm going to try to get some more darks here behind. I'm going to try to build that up a little bit more. The dark background is really dark, so I got to get that in there. And go around these color areas, put in some darks. Okay, let's see how I do. I'll take the brush now and go in there and see if I can add a little more definition here. Let's see what happens now. I'll make that green a little more vibrant. And I don't have to touch all, just cover up some of the white areas. White paper still showing a little bit. Try to cover up some of that and make these leaves look a little more believable on this bush. Working on the edges. Rinse out the brush a little bit when the brush gets a little bit mixed up with other colors. You want to clean the brush out. Just rinse the brush out a little bit. Keep it from getting too mixed up with the colors. Keep them separate as much as possible. Okay, that bush is coming along pretty good. I mean, this is a rough sketch. Capturing the scene today. Now I'm going to try to go back now. I want to capture some of those dark areas back here behind. Around these leaves with that dark mixture of umber. So we'll see how I do here. The dark, I'm getting the dark colors now around the colors. Maybe I should have in the first one. Maybe I should have done a light wash in the beginning, or I could have used tinted paper to give me a background color. And there's several choices to make. Maybe next time I'll do that. I'll come out with a different, I'll do a background wash and then put the color in over top of that. I mean, it's another, here I'm trying to add a dark around some of these lights. And, but I'm going to get the impression of the scene. Rinsing out the brush and I'll get the dark around here. You know, it really doesn't matter if you're painting or drawing or whatever. It's just, you know, I'm out here. This is Plein Air. I'm on location, and I'm just enjoying the opportunity to capture a natural scene with the beauty of nature. These leaves are very colorful, reds and oranges and browns and yellows, mixed in with the green bush here. So, you know, when you start out, when you start laying down a color or you start laying down values, you know, it starts out looking like a little messy. But then as you work on the colors and the shapes, you know, things start to come together. Right now, things are starting to happen, and I can see the shape. I'm learning. This is a good experience to get out and do this. You learn a lot by painting outdoors. How do you paint that? How do you capture that color? How do I add that value next to that one? I mean, these are all the things that you learn by doing it and experimenting. with a pencil or and a piece of paper and some color maybe, even color crayons, it doesn't matter, or a brush, a watercolor brush or whatever. See, I'm just putting pigment on the paper, and then I'm taking the brush and I'm going to spread it out a little bit. All right, okay. Now I think I'll go one more time. Use a little bit of this Prussian Blue, and maybe that'll darken up some more. So I'm going to put a little bit of Prussian Blue in here to darken up some of this. This will darken up also. Add a little more darks to these background. A little blue next to the orange and the others. We'll show a little bit of background. Show a little depth. Because as you go back into the background, blue is the cooler temperature. Adding a blue color, we'll put that in the background a little bit more. So let's try that out. Add a little blue here, and get a little bit of intensity. If I got blue over here, I'm going to add it. I want to put blue everywhere. You don't just stick it in one spot. When you use a color like this in the background, you want to move around, use the color everywhere. Don't just use it in one spot. Because then it becomes distracting. Your eyes will go toward that area that's different. And if you make it all the same, then it's more continuity with have that same color in different places in the painting. It's really dark down there. Okay, now let me wet that up a little bit. Start up here. That'll draw it down. That blue will work a little bit better, along with that umber. That'll darken it down, shade it down a little bit. Also give it a little bit of bluish cast. We should put it in the background a little better. Keeping those colors. I want to save those colors. I've got those nice light colors. I don't want to lose those, so I'm going to painting around those, trying to shape leaves as I go along. Come in here around this red. Yeah, things are starting to happen. I see it. It's coming along. I'm not looking at the scene anymore. Now I'm just playing with the painting and letting the painting talk to me. Because I started with white paper, so there'll be some white showing. I don't cover it completely. Leave some of it showing through. That Prussian Blue is really a strong color. Not as strong as blue color in my inventory. I don't carry Prussian Blue in my watercolors. And I think I'll put a little blue over here, just a touch. pastel looks like. It looks a little bit natural. A little bit, okay. I think what I'll do now, I'm going to, those branches. Those branches, I'm going to emphasize that. I've got a black one here too. So I'm going to use the black. I've got a black, ivory black. I'm going to put that in the branches because they kind of show out really dark. So I'm going to put the black in here. Cover up that brown a little bit more. Show up the branches. Put the dark, put some lines in here, get your eye moving along the lines. So lines are very important in a drawing or in a painting, because lines help your eyes follow the design, and that's what I got. Here, I got this thing going around this way, and I'm going to bring this over this side. Put the black in here, and so I'm just using that as an art tool to direct the eyes into the painting, around the painting. Okay, and then I got some darks in here also. I don't want to draw a real line. I just want to put some accents. A little more yellow in here. But I'm going to go back to my silk pastel. That's my drawing for today. Okay, that's the drawing, and that's what I was trying to capture over here. And the bush, with the leaves, the green bush, and the red, and the oranges, and yellows. So we'll stop right there.